Go ahead, put it on.
Yo, salute to everybody here in the building, man. You know what time it is. We are back, and we got another one. Let's get it.
Touchdown, Raiders!
Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building, man. You guys know what time it is. We are back. Welcome to the latest installment of the Graphic and Wasted Show.
Or the Wasted Graphics Show, whichever way you like to slice it.
Yes.
What's up, brother?
My brother, man, there's a lot going on in Raider Nation. And, at the end of the interview, we'll break it down a little bit. But today is a little special. You know what I mean? We have this thing called the winning circle. Wasted, right?
Yeah.
We've been doing it for many moons now. And our brother hit us up. We put the bat signal up. He said, man, I got a lot that I want to talk about today. And we said, come on, man, say less. This is your home. We are here to get it rocking. Before we get there, though, make sure you guys wipe them feet over here at OLV Raiders Network. That means get those likes up. And also pay your bar tabs over on Wasted's channel. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. Without further ado, and I can play around with it, our brother, star NFL agent Paul DeRousselle, a.k.a. the Agent Paul.
Come on, man.
Yes, sir.
What's up, man?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, it's been a long time, huh?
Yeah, man.
And I know you got a lot on your mental right now. You know, free agency is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Wasted. We know we've been talking about the draft. It's right behind that. It's a lot to unpack. Shrine Bowl, Senior Bowl. I don't know if you know this, Wasted. I don't even think I told you. My dog is on his penmanship now as well. Paul he has some big news today. Can we talk about it or no?
Nah, I with y'all, yeah. You know, it's
so we can hold on to it.
No, we talk about it. We do whatever you want, man. I'm on your show. I didn't wipe my paws. I'm in the building. We can go however you want to go about this.
Before we get to the talk, what's the big news, bro? What you working on?
What I'm working on right now, man, that's good. I like how you led into that, man. Crazy part is, man, it's been a long time. You know, people have been hearing me talk about it for a long time. It's one of those things you're like, yo, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I done finally got active, man. I just actually finished the conclusion. I'm writing a book. So I'm going from the agent Paul to the author Paul, man. It's a book entitled Faith, Failure, Football. And I'm super excited about it, man. As of now, the goal is to drop it on my birthday, May 11th. So I'm gonna come back on the show before we're gonna run it back again. But I just felt like I had to let y'all know before I let a lot of other people know, man. This has been a place that has supported me for a very long time.
Definitely.
I'm looking forward to the book dropping, man. And I truly believe that it's gonna do some special things for people, man. It's not a how-to book. The book isn't just how I negotiate or there's an element to it. Put it like this, man. I'm gonna set the stage for you. This is how the book starts. All right, y'all ready? I can only tell y'all this because y'all my people. The book starts in Greater True Life Baptist Church in Eunice, Louisiana. I want you to think about sea green chairs and a Baptist church. Smelled like Brute Cologne and Elizabeth Taylor white diamonds. My mama walking around greeting the whole community. It's first Sunday. I'm in the children's choir. All right. So, I mean, I'm sitting here. The whole congregation can look at you. There's 6-year-old me. I'm clamoring in anticipation because church started at 11 Central Time. I'm looking at my mom and my dad, and I'm saying it's time to go because the football game is about to come on. That's how the book starts, about my love. How there's an element of how my faith and football and everything and failure all intertwined to shape my life, man. There's some funny stuff in there from my first core memory of football being Doug Williams winning the Super Bowl in 1987, going 18 for 29, 340 yards. There's also memories of me watching Christmas game 1989. Herschel Walker had just got traded from the Cowboys to the Vikings. Barbershop, everything from law school to failing as an agent to failing in fatherhood. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm looking forward to y'all seeing the book. I think it has a classic feeling to it. I think it's going to be well received.
I love it, man. Well, we're excited about it. And when that comes out, me and Wasted are going to be pushing it like it's our book. So you let us know whenever it drops, bro, and we're going to promote the link. And I know the nation's going to get behind it and support everything that you do, brother. We're very, very proud of you. And I'm excited, man, to get a chance to read that, man. Real quick, man, there's a lot going on right now. Me and you got a chance to kick it a few weeks back. We had our little snowstorm out here. Everybody in Dallas was losing their minds, right, Paul? Got a chance to hit, it was crazy. Got a chance to go to the Star, sit over there on the sidelines at the Shrine Bowl, kick game a little bit, and check out some of the talent, coming out of this class. I want to ask you, man, this upcoming draft class, specifically a guy that, I know that I am and Wasted is very familiar with, Chris Hilton, wide receiver, LSU speedster. What are you expecting with him at the combine? He killed it at the Shrine. I was hearing really good things about him in Alabama at the Senior Bowl as well. What's the expectations with Chris Hilton coming up at the combine? I'm hearing 4.2. I'm hearing some crazy stuff. How are you feeling about it?
Man, I'm feeling good about him. He's a young man from Zachary, Louisiana. His parents went to Southern University. Matter of fact, both his parents were track stars at Southern, the Hiltons. Really good people. And, he battled a lot of adversity, coming out of high school. He was the top ranked receiver in that same class with Malik Neighbors and Keon and all those guys. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes in the course of a college career, things don't necessarily go how they should. Some things, most of which were beyond his control. You had injuries, you had coaching staff turnover and things like that. But, the thing about it, man, is all that's in the past. And, he hasn't had an opportunity to get a clean slate. And I'll just be honest with you, man. You've been seeing all these things, these Wendy's 4 for 4. He's competed in 4 pre-draft games.
Hula Bowl.
He's done the Hula Bowl. Mm-hmm. He's done the American Bowl. He's done the East-West Shrine. He's done the Senior Bowl. I'll be honest with y'all, like people are giving me credit and like, what a great job by as an agent. I ain't want him to do all that, but
he wanted to, bro. We were on the sideline and Paul booked the flight at the Shrine Bowl. They were looking for flights in the mid game. Like, it's time to get to the Senior Bowl.
It's something that matters to him. He wants to compete. Yeah. He wants that opportunity. And, as an agent, man, you're an advisor. And at the end of the day, man, when a young man wants to compete and they feel like they got a lot to prove, and not only this, I want people to understand this isn't some Disney movie where he's a bona fide ball player. He's not just a speedster. He's not just a track guy. He got juice intermediate. He'll go up on your head. It's so much that he can do. And every year in the draft, there's these receivers like, where did they come from? Mm-hmm. How did people miss on him? And he's going to be one of those guys. His best football is for sure ahead of him, man. And I'm excited to have him, man.
Well, I know. Paul, go ahead, Wes.
Paul, you seem to always gravitate and attract, athletes, that you represent, that kind of have like a personal feel, man. Like you always come off to me, man, like the real life Jerry Maguire. You know what I mean? Like you like the people's champ, man. This year, I know you got a bunch of young guys that you're representing. How do you feel about this particular draft, right? Because there are a lot of guys in this draft whose stories are not written yet. Like normally there are a lot of guys in the draft that kind of have their path laid out for them. Yeah. But I think that this draft is more so like a choose your own adventure book. Like we don't really know exactly how this draft is going to throw out, even up to the first pick with the Raiders. A lot of people don't think that Fernando Mendoza is the number 1 pick, right? We know the Raiders are going to take him, but this draft kind of seems really, really up in the air. Like, what do you think about this year's crop of players?
I think if you're looking at a D line, for sure, this is a very good D line edge. A lot of depth in the secondary, even like with receiver in the receiver class, you're gonna find a lot of guys in that day 2 pocket, early day 3, who can really play. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to see it unfold. Like, for example, a guy like Mendoza, he's had a heck of a story, man. He's being overlooked by the school in his backyard. Mm-hmm. So there's so many stories from Ruben Bain on down, to my guys, to guys who have been under the radar. I saw there as a kid from a D3 school that was at the Senior Bowl, nobody could guard him. So that's the beauty of the draft, man. It's a bunch of young men whose stories haven't been written. Some guys who had great college careers, some guys who've underachieved in college, who are going to be better pros. And so much of this so much of this draft, man, is fit over pick. You might have a kid that goes in the 6th round to a perfect situation.
Yep.
It fits the coaching staff will know how to get the most out of him. He's in a city where he won't have much distraction. He has some good veterans in that locker room. The thing about the draft, man, is it's like cooking your favorite dish. Like, so much has to go right in order for it to come out the way that it should, right? From the timing to the measurement of the seasoning and all those things, man. So, and Wasted, you made a point. You said something along the lines of me tending to gravitate towards underdogs. I think, it's kind of like when you create a player or you on NBA Live, you tend to like make that player kind of like you. It's always like that. I enjoy someone with a story. I enjoy when it isn't as clean. I've had an opportunity to represent 1st-round picks. I've also had an opportunity to represent undrafted picks. You take each of those people and you love them the same. And I'm not a front runner out here. I ain't no super agent because anybody can be a super agent if you just represent top 10 picks. How do you identify talent? How do you find the Jordan Turners? How do you find the Tyrell Shavers? There's a certain fun in that, man. You enjoy it, and every year is an opportunity to start over and be a part of a new process, man. And I'll tell you this, Wasted. Every year around this time, man, sometimes like my battery is a little drained. But the first time one of these players hits me up and like, yo, the Packers just called me, or yo, such and such just called me, it starts all over again, man. It's like if you're a teacher. Every year that new crop of students come, you find it. You're like, all right, man, let's get to it, man. Let's get active.
Is the story thing, because you've been someone in this business that's been able to find like these undrafted gems, Aiden Huntington, who's cooking out there with Cleveland. Carlin Vickers, just talked about Ty Shavers, he looked really good out there in Buffalo. Jordan Turner with the Broncos, Marcus Banks with the Bucks. Again, right? It's have a superstar is great. You had Jeffrey Simmons. You got Keon. We're going to talk about him in a second as well.
But I know that's coming.
I know. We're going to hold off for that for a second. I know you got a lot to talk about with that situation. But like these kind of guys, like, is the work ethic different behind the scenes? Why do you gravitate to these kind of guys? Like, honestly, because again, I feel like what you said, right? Guys that have stories. I feel like someone with the story needs to be over someone that has a story. If that makes any sense. You get what I'm saying? Like if I'm from a specific neighborhood, I probably want someone that's been through my, my trials and errors to be able to overlook and say, hey man, this is how we get over those humps. This is how we do that. With these kind of guys, how do you find find you in that space with these kind of guys?
I mean, bro, it goes down to just like you get to know that person and you understand that everybody hasn't always had all the greatest advantages.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need somebody that's going to go that extra mile for you, that's going to work super hard with these area scouts and these directors of scouting and just bringing awareness to them. Because sometimes, man, in the process, these guys are scouting so many people. It's just about being persistent and knowing ball and being able to understand, okay, this guy fits with this scheme. This guy fits with this team. It's doing your homework, because everybody says, oh, it's all 32 teams. Very seldomly is it all 32, because some teams have these metrics like, yo, if you ain't got 31-inch arms, they're not looking at you as a DB. Or if you're a D tackle and you don't fit their prototype, you look at the roster. Certain people are going to have certain things, but that's no different than dating types, right? So as an agent, it's like, and guys like that who come from a small school, like Kelby Givens from Southern University, one of my guys, I understand what he is. Yeah. He's not going to be 6'4" overnight, but he can rush the passer. He has production. So in my mind, I've already identified, hey, these are the teams that have been to the school. These are the area scouts I have relationships with. Where can we get them in a local pro day? To me, it's just like getting to work with guys who are maybe a little off the radar and who need that little extra push, man. There's fun in that, man. It keeps you young. It keeps you rejuvenated. And when they pay off, they pay off, And
it means that much more when that happens, right?
1,000%. It always means something. But when you were a young man that goes into the process where they're not even thinking they're going to get a rookie mini camp invite. Yeah. And you're able to, in Carlin Vigor's situation, like, yo, we just got one of the highest paid undrafted free agent deals, and we put you in the correct situation.
Yeah.
Or hey, you were out the league a minute, but we worked to get you back in the UFL. I enjoy the work. I enjoy the process.
I know you do, because we text about Aiden, when he makes a big play. We text about Shavers. I'm like, Paul really loves, like, he's really involved in these young kids' careers, and he loves to see them succeed. And to have a guy, really that came from the bottom as well, that has covered, that had, again, superstars. I mean, and now, Keon, a second round guy that we're going to get to here, what is the difference with that? Because with these guys, they kind of move under the radar a little bit, Paul, right? Mm-hmm. Like if they do great, the expectations are just whatever. Oh, wow. Like we might have found something. With Keon, he was a first round talent that fell to the beginning of the second. Mm-hmm. And most of us were thinking Josh Allen, Buffalo, great situation. Mm-hmm. And now we see this offseason, the turnaround, Sean McDermott let go. They named the OC, the head coach. The owner comes out and kind of, let's not sugarcoat it here, had some kind of interesting words, for Keon. Joe Brady kind of cleaned it up, here, recently, he said, I told Keon when I got hired, the best thing that happened to Keon was me being his head coach. Yeah. And, also went on to say, I was one of those ones that stood on the table for Keon Coleman, and I believe in Keon Coleman. Mm-hmm. The Bean conversations, the owner conversations. How has Keon took this offseason with all the noise? Because look, me, Paul, I've told you, you are great at your job. And I'm one of them people, I will speak out for my guy. Yeah. Because I'm like, look, I know my guy can't say certain things. And I'm like, well, let me do it. You know what I mean? But I thought that they threw Keon completely under the bus with all this stuff. How are you feeling about how this situation started off to where it is now?
Man, the thing, this is the first time I've ever talked about it.
Yeah.
And the crazy part, so I was just getting back from Orlando. So I was in Denver for the Bills Broncos game. Mm-hmm. And bro, it was like altitude. It was a crazy game. It was just the flow of the game, just the atmosphere. I had two clients in that game. I had Jordan Turner, who plays special team rookie. He plays for the Broncos, sat with his family. And the Broncos won that game. Keon scored a touchdown. Obviously the season didn't go how he wanted it to go for himself and the goals that he set. So I gone from Denver, caught a flight to Orlando for the American Bowl. So I'm just getting back from Orlando. I took like a 5 a.m. flight. So I'm laying in the bed, bro. And on Facebook, it's like Buffalo Bills press conference. So I'm watching it live. So I'm halfway sleeping. And I just hear they asked Bean a question, something about like the wide receiver room.
Yes.
And the owner comes in and says, hold on, let me stop you there for a minute. And then obviously he says what he says. And then when I tell you I popped up that bed like the Undertaker, so I'm, and at the time I was like, bro, there's no way. I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't hear this right. Because I'm still sleepy.
Like, ain't no way.
I'm like, ain't bro. So next thing you know, I can't make this up, bro. All you hear is like my phone is going crazy. So at that time I was like, oh, this really was said, what was said. And I'll be honest with you, man, like my initial reaction is just, you're human. This is my player. This is my client. This is my family. This is a young man that I love. Yeah. Like when I tell you the level of love I have for all my clients, I love them boys.
Yeah.
And especially in Keon's situation, he went through a lot this year. Just from, you got former players talking about him, it's just Keon this, Keon that, is, to me, people just trying to get impressions because they know if you mention his name, it's going to move the needle. So it's frustrating. So first thing I did, bro, I get up and I was, hoping he had he was 18 minutes up the street from me.
Yeah.
I got there in about 12. I texted because we were supposed to go to breakfast earlier. And I hit him up. I'm like, hey, bro, I got to pull up on you. Where you at? So I get there. I get to him. And, at that point, everybody had kind of told him what was said. People have been reaching out to me, Do you have a comment? And it's in that moment, bro. There's no handbook in the agent manual for dealing with an owner saying something. And bro, by the time I got to Keon's apartment, it was on First Take. Stephen A. and then so it's out there.
Spiral.
And I think the only thing you can do at this point, bro, is just like you got to be able to keep your composure in those moments. Me as an agent 4 or 5 years ago, I'd have popped off and had a lot to say. And you got all these people in your ear. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do that. At that time, bro, you can't react in that moment. You have to stay poised, stay calm, because this is why they hired you. Like, it's okay. And one thing you know about the media, things blow over too. So you can't be a prisoner at a moment.
Yeah.
What happened was, it was unfortunate. So I get to Keon. We talked about 15 minutes. I'm not gonna tell y'all, I got to keep certain things between us, but we had a conversation about it. Mm-hmm. We discussed how we would move forward from it. And we went to see Shade because Ty Shavers was doing rehab on his ACL, so we just kind of kept our mind off of it. I tried to, as an agent, when you're dealing with those type things, man, you can't react like you want to react or like everybody else is telling you to react. You got to think about it. Yeah. People want you to be so mad. I'm talking about, bro, you got other agents calling me.
Yeah.
I have him on the first thing out. I didn't. At the end of the day, man, like, you're still under contract.
Yeah.
You're still, you got to be mature and have conversations. And I'll be honest with y'all, when all that happened, I took a couple of steps back. And that's what you have to do in those moments. Yeah. TMZ Sports called me wanting a statement. It's like, nah, bro, we're going to – and I'll be honest with you, I had every conversation I needed to have.
Yeah.
I'm going to just put it like that.
Yeah.
I don't run from conflict, but I think there's a way to handle conflict maturely. And,
well, we all know management has the right to mismanage, right?
Yeah.
And I know you can't say that, right? But I'm going to say that management has the right to mismanage, right? I just really quickly, I didn't mean to jump in there, but I really want to know, man, what's the roadmap going forward, right, for you guys, right? Because you can only control what you guys do. You can't control what other people do. You can't control the media. You can't control, Club Shay Shay and all of these other talking heads. The only thing you can control is what you do. Did you give Keon kind of a roadmap going forward? You know what I mean? On how you guys are going to conduct yourselves and how you guys are going to remedy this situation based off of what you can control.
Yeah. And you said what you said. The thing about, we've always felt this way. And Keon and I, man, we have a very good ability for him and I to always be on the same page, even when the world isn't. That's the critical. Like, he can FaceTime me and pop up and I can know if there's other people around him or this is like, I can't explain the level of awareness we have with each other. So we talked it through, and the thing about it, man, is you control what you can control. At the end of the day, there's a reason why you don't see team owners always in front of the mic.
Yeah.
It's you hadn't seen him say anything maybe in 6 years, and I'm a big fan of Mr. Pagula's daughter, the tennis player, so I'm a fan of her. And Mr. Pagula, at the end of the day, it's his team. As you see with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
When you break it down, whether you agree with what he says, he's entitled to say what he wants to say. And I don't agree with what he said 100%. I thought it was devoid of professionalism. I thought it lacked tact. I thought it was without situational awareness. You don't do things like that to one of your own. Nonetheless, a young man who still out there on your team, young man who last time you saw him actually scored a touchdown, stretching out, giving up his body for your team. So I think, just moving forward, bro, what Keon can do is last offseason, he had a great offseason. He was the talk of camp. He goes back into it, performs at a high level, controls what he can control. All he can control is be the best player that he can be. He can't control, even though, everybody in the organization is saying the right things, like, you don't know if a team's going to feel like that week 3, week 4. But what we can control is him going out there and being the best version of himself and being a better ball player this year, And obviously, as y'all saw in the media, you saw that he was late for, he had some things that he knows he has to clean up. And we talk about the ABCs: accountability, belief, and the consistency. But on the other side of that, man, I say that I think as an organization, certain things should be kept in-house. It's a lot of stuff y'all don't hear about in the league. And for me, and I've expressed this to who I need to express this to, Keon, with the Sunday night football game, him getting benched for disciplinary reasons, the first series. Yeah. That's not what people thought it was. I'll just leave it at that. But, is there a need to divulge that to the media? I think sometimes you got too many people within organizations that want to, I'm gonna much rather protect my own and be cool with Ian Rappaport or these insiders and this and that. So I'm aware of some things that I think an organization needs to do a better job of keeping things in-house, because it's stuff that's in-house. And, if we start saying things like the moment Keon will complain about something or this and that, it can't be unilateral. It's got to go both ways, bro.
Hey, low key, man, when's Paul going to start talking about his daughter, man? So we got some family in the chat. We know Paul's daughter's in the chat as well. For those who are saying people were spamming, we got family in the building tonight. So just know we're having some fun, okay? And let
them spam, man. Y'all relax.
Let them spam tonight.
No,
I want to ask you this because once again, you guys handled this with care, responsibly, because again, you go out there and allow them to twist your narrative. He can end up in Tennessee, or Cleveland, or Arizona. Like, he can end up in a bad situation, and I think that you guys handled this perfectly. We know this, the first 2 years, I've said things to you about that whole system out there, and you may not agree with everything I have to say, but again, we have our own minds with this thing. I think that Keon, year 3 is going to be a little bit different. This is the year usually where these young guys take that jump. And, with them keeping, Brady around, man, hopefully he really, truly involves him in that offense, because, honestly, Buffalo wasted. We've talked about this a million times, bro. When do they ever have a number 1 wide receiver? Stephon Diggs, then what?
He's in the Super Bowl. Listen, there is a thing, and this is just for me. This is not, I'm going to say it, right? For me, there are certain players in this league that get excuses made for them, right? And the media always kind of overlooks their shortcomings and puts it in the lap of others, right? And I think a lot of that's happening. And to be real with you, I don't think that there's a bad situation in the National Football League. Whatever team that you're a member of, right, that you can make that your own kingdom. It all depends on how you proceed forward, especially when you're a wide receiver, right? Like you could be in Arizona, you could be in Tennessee, you could be everywhere, right? It all depends on, the synergy you have with the quarterback and the organization and the belief, right? And I believe a lot of the times in the National Football League, it is the culture sometimes that's sick and not the roster. But my question to you is knowing what you guys know, seeing how the league is. Now, you've been around the league a lot longer than Keon has, right? You've had other players and things of that nature, right? It just seems like as this progresses, right, and there are more outlets, there are more podcasts, player-driven podcasts, there's more social media, right? Owners are speaking now. This is something that never would even happen 5 years ago, Paul. Like, it's a brave new world, man. How have you adjusted, your style of being an agent, dealing with all the different peripheral things, man? Because back in the day, you'd have to worry about ESPN, maybe the dirt sheets or something like that, and that's it. Now you got Club Shay Shay, you got this, you got that. And now you got all these different opinions, man. And everything goes viral now. Yeah. And it is not really the greatest situation to grow as a player in the National Football League when you're having some adversity.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And I think that's why it's important as a player to keep a strong circle around. It's crazy how everybody talks about this mental health stuff all the time. Mental health matters, but you got people on the Bills that's within their fan base that's bullying me in the messages. They sending me messages. So I can only imagine, what the player sees, man. I think it's unfortunate, but it's the hand we've been dealt. And to whom much is given, much is required. So if you go into this with a victim mentality, bro, it's like, all right, I signed up to do this at a high level. Like when Keon got drafted by the Bills, some of these other wide receivers who were drafted in this class, they can drop a pass and the game is at 1 o'clock on Tubi. You know, the thing is, when you're playing for a contender and a team that's got Super Bowl aspirations with a fan base that is who they are, you understand that it's going to be magnified.
Of course. They're this close every year, Paul. They've never won it, and they're finally in that window. It's going to be magnified a lot.
It is, man, and you just control what you could control and just work to get better. And like Keon is confident. He knows the football player he is, and even if you look at his numbers in the first 2 years, injuries, inactives, his numbers compare favorably with all the other receivers drafted in his class. If you look at this last year, do a blind quote unquote number look, you'll see like 13 games, 5 touchdowns produced. When he's given opportunities, when the team is playing to his strength, he's given chances, he's going to make plays for you. His best football is ahead of him, so Revan and Wasted. So I think, man, at the end of the day, bro, the past is the past. You know, you can have people say, oh, I would ask for a trade. I would do anything we do, man, is going to be internal. It's not going to be through the media. It's not going to be, you know, I also have to be careful on what I say, because you saw the other day, Rich Paul said something on the podcast, it got attributed to LeBron. Yeah. So regardless of how we feel, man, I mean, and there's this two people who are saying, oh, Keon Coleman's going to have a breakout. He was motivated before this. Okay. Like, there's nobody on the outside that's going to hold him to a higher standard that he holds for himself. He knows who he is as a player, bro. He's not listening to all that noise. And y'all done seen, I'm sure he hears it. I don't bring it to him. I filter through it. He is who I know
he's a good young man, though. Like, even my father-in-law, like, he didn't know him from a can of paint. When he met him at the Kevin show, he asked me about him. He was like, hey, man, hey, you know, you spoke to Paul. What's going on with Keon? Man, he's a good kid. Like, and I was like, damn, he realized that quick in that moment, just speaking to him backstage. You know what I mean? So we're rooting for him, man. And we know that, you know, over here, Raider Nation, you guys got us. We're pulling for him. But I want to ask you this. Let's get to some Raider talk real quick, Paul.
For sure. Let's do it.
Right? Because there's a situation that me and Wasted have been covering for the past few weeks. And, you know, well, not even past few weeks. What, month and a half now, Wasted, pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And superstar player, you know, defensive lineman, you know, one of the top edge rushers in football, Maxx Crosby. Okay. 2 weeks left in the season last year. He's dealing with the knee injury. We're right there in the thick of things, Paul, for that #1 pick to potentially go get Fernando Mendoza, our quarterback of the future, right? And Alex Guerrero, you know, he's in the building, and you know, John Spytek, our GM, is in the building, and they make the decision. Max was fighting through that knee injury all year long, you know, constantly. You know, he was on the injury report week in and week out all season long because of it, but he fought through it. This is just who Max is. Gets pulled the last 2 games of the season. And things get a little dark after that, Paul. And you know, there's reports now that he wants out. You know, all these big outlets now are picking up on it and saying that he's behind the scenes. He wants out. You know, there's no way that some people are saying there's no way Max is going to play another snap in the silver and black. And Max is honestly kind of beating around the bush, so to speak.
Very non-committal. Very non-committal.
Best way to say it. And Wasted, jump on in, brother. Break the rest of this down to our brother.
Well, Maxx Crosby is really, you know, based off of how he's being interviewed. When they leave the door open for him to commit to the Raiders, you know, because he's done that year after year after year. The tenor and the tone of the way he's, you know, communicating his commitment to the team has been very, very different. And when we hired our new coach, Klint Kubiak, he was not visible at the presser, and the rest of the team was there. A lot of young rookies were there, and this guy is the cornerstone to our franchise. Yes. He wasn't there, and it really seems to me that Maxx Crosby is in a state where his Raiderdom is in flux. Like, we don't know whether he's going to be playing for the Raiders, whether the Raiders are going to trade him, or whether he wants to be there. The only thing we do know is he's under contract, and it's really not his choice whether or not he wants to leave or not.
And he's doing little things. Rob Leonard just named our defensive coordinator. That's Max's guy. He was named, you know, yesterday, the defensive coordinator. Max posts a tweet about Kobe Bryant. A day earlier, a few days prior, you know, another coach is named, and he drops a James Harden tweet. That's his guy, one of his good friends. It's clear that he's kind of feeding into the nonsense a little bit. As an agent, when you see a guy that just signed a deal last offseason, but also sees what Micah got, what Myles Garrett got. Do you think this is more of and Maxx is a competitor at the end of the day? I think anybody with eyes can see that he wants to win ball games. The way he plays, it's just different. Just the motor is relentless. Is this, in your eyes, do you think that this is a thing of, I'm just tired of losing, I hate the way that they pulled me out? Because again, he dealt with alcoholism previously. This is his new outlet. You know, it's like, football is my everything. If you take that away from me, I'm pissed. And I respect that. I get it. You know, he's been 5.5, 6 years sober, I believe now. Much respect to him. But there's just he's leaving a lot for this fan base to think like, okay, he wants out. He truly wants out, because he's not saying salute to Klint Kubiak, new head coach, salute to my guy, Rob Leonard, which behind the scenes, he could be reaching out to these guys, Paul. Of course. You know what I mean? But fans are in his comment section every day saying, so what's up? What's up? What's up? No response. You know, I've spoken to Maxx several times behind the scenes, but we don't talk about this. I'm not going to ask him about it because, again, I don't want, you know, look, who am I? He's not going to, Graf. He's probably going to be like, Graf, I don't want to talk about that shit. We talk about basketball and other things like that. It's things outside of this. But what is your take on this situation? And if you're in this situation where you have a player that wanted to fight those last 2 games when the season was already out of hand, like it was done, it was over with, and it was clear that there was 2 objectives there at the end of the season, Paul. It was to lose out, to go get the number 1 spot, but also to protect Maxx from Maxx. Because if he goes out there and plays 2 more games on that hurt knee, he got surgery immediately after the season was up. He needed it. So again, what do you think this is, and how do you look at this situation?
I think, you know, in Max's situation, I'm sure that there's always conversations between a player and the agent, but it's kind of like the attorney-client privilege, right? You wonder, have they had conversations throughout the year? Like, hey, bro, you want to be here, you know, because at the end of the day, you still work for the player. So I think he's probably having them some of y'all probably getting some of the BS, like, you know, fluff answers and politically correct or the non-committal things. But him and his agent, I can tell you right now, they for sure on the same page about what this is going to look like. Yeah. They probably know what the compensation would look like if he goes elsewhere. They might have already discussed what an extension would look like if he is to go to another team, and you know, whether that's in line with Mike or what's happening with the edge market right now. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to bet you right now, but I ain't willing to bet you they didn't have them conversations.
Oh yeah,
and it could be that, yo, hey, I still want to be here, but I just got to turn up on them about this pulling me the last 2 games just because I gotta prove a point. Maybe I'm showing that fan base how much I love ball. I'm anti-tank, F it. Like, I'm on that type of time. It could be, yo, bro, I'm tired of losing. Yeah. Like, I'm tired because, you know, they just redid his contract, right? So, I mean, I don't know how much, especially with like a newer regime, if they're gonna go back and do something so soon again. Because then at this point, like, all right, bro, like, we just restructured or whatever we just did. So, I don't know, bro. I do believe that they probably had the internal conversation with player and agent and them and the team. They probably like, yo, like, what would that compensation? Because see, a lot of times if you're trying to move a player, most times the GM is going to tell you to go out there and see what you can get. They kind of want you to go do the work for them. Mm-hmm. So at this point, you probably identified the Buccaneers. Like, Maxx seems to fit with one of those teams that's like a piece away. Mm-hmm. Like one of those teams that's like an edge or impact player away.
The Detroits of the world, the Dallases of the world, you know.
The Buffalo of the world.
Yeah. So you're looking at comp and who has a lot of cap room, and it's so many factors that are going on right now. But in my heart, I think Maxx wants to retire a Raider,
of course,
and be there. I think who doesn't? Most times, bro, you want to finish where you started, especially when it looks like the organization may be turning that corner.
That shit, Paul. Talk.
Like, it does though. Like, you look at infrastructure, very good GM. You look at a team that really showed life last year. Mm-hmm. You know,
at times, for sure.
I mean, if you look at it like this, bro, there has to be hope. When you saw what the Patriots just did in 1 year, you see every team. Like, I think the Titans are going to be significantly better next year. It's a lot.
I do as well.
NFL, bro, things can change very quickly.
Yeah,
like very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. You know, you win 9 games next year. You're on the cusp of, you know, playing football in early January. So if without knowing the true dynamics of their situation, bro, like, I think you just kind of gotta let it play out because there's nothing that can happen right now anyway. The league
Yeah.
year doesn't start again until March.
Yeah.
You got to get through the.
He's still rehabbing too, Paul. He's not even ready to go yet.
You got to get through the. You got to get through the draft too.
Yeah.
If you're asking me, I think he ends up staying where he is, has a really good year, and then he gets one of those lifetime achievement deals where it's like, yo, we're gonna send you off to the sunset, 3 for 98, fully guaranteed, it's close to fully guaranteed for staying down and being a true ambassador. And you gotta realize, I saw somebody say in the comments, it's tax-free in Vegas. That matters too. 40 million in Vegas is way different than 50 million in New York.
Because you put together one of the bigger deals with one of the best defensive linemen in football in recent times with Jeffrey Simmons' last deal. So I know that you know a lot about this. So
that's the thing, and I want to push back a little bit when it comes to the Maxx things. I know none of us have like total insight, right? But just for me, hearing what you were saying about he's seeing things are turning the corner, right? If you are seeing things are turning the corner as a player, what would be the sum total of these actions, right? Because apparently they've done the right thing by you by shutting you down. Because if you're not ready to go now, that means that they got a head start on repairing your knee and getting you on the rehab track, right?
Yeah.
The fact that the Raiders have the #1 pick and to me got the best young coach in this coaching cycle because they have the #1 pick, they did the right thing, right? The fact that the Raiders have $100 million in cap space, they did the right thing. Yeah. And the fact that as soon as they came in and the new regime flipped over, they didn't play games with you. They didn't ship you out. They didn't dangle you for trade. They made you whole. They gave you a deal of a lifetime for you at that point, right? And the market reset. Now, I don't think that, Maxx Crosby is fighting over, money at this point, right? Because he hasn't even played 2 years on his new deal, right? So I don't think it's a money thing. I personally think just seeing how he's dealt, I think that it's more about the power structure in the organization. I feel like the one thing about the Raiders that seems different, so the Raiders are a real organization now with a real structure where you have, ownership, right? Because Mark Davis said it clearly last week. He says, listen, I am not on the football side anymore. I'm hands off. That's Tom and John. It's never been that way, right? So now you have, Tom Brady from the ownership group running the football operation with John Spytek, and the coaches are reporting to the GM. You don't have this amalgamation of nonsense where you have a coach that has final cut over a GM. And I think previous to this, because the organization was so disjointed, Maxx has had certain liberties that other players don't have. Yeah. He almost was treated like an NBA player. Yeah. Right. And I think now he's getting to see how the other half lives, and I don't think he likes it. So I know that was very long-winded and disjointed, but what I want to ask you is this, right? At this point, man, there could be no other reason to act out in this manner besides the fact that you do want to test the waters. I don't necessarily think he will retire, Raider. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, you hit on some good points. If you're looking at it from the organizational standpoint, like, we've done right by you. We tried to protect you. If we just sent you out there and got hurt in week 17 of a meaningless game, then we might be talking about something totally different. And not like you held him out so he wouldn't reach certain statistical benchmarks, like you cost him any money or things like that. Maybe you're right, Wasted. Maybe it is a situation where, I know nobody wants to hear it, but I think those are probably conversations that they've had internally. And we're going to find out. And if we find out
very soon
for the draft, because that's that window. And you better believe that in 2 weeks in Indy at that combine, there's going to be a lot of discussions being had. I'm just being honest with you. Like, it's going to be a lot going on up there in Indy, bro.
Give us some players, man, outside of course, our guy Chris Hilton is going to go out there and run a 4.240. Give us some players, man, that you're excited to check out at the combine and that you think can be some realistic sleepers in this class.
I'm excited to see Bud Clark from TCU. And then this is me. Once again, I'm not going to say guys that I just represent or didn't represent. He's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
I think he's a ball hawk. He's a really good player. Bud Clark out of TCU will be at the combine. I'm excited to see Reese, the kid out of Ohio State.
Arville Reese is a beast.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to see It's a kid out of Southeastern Proctor, a D lineman.
Yeah.
He's from Southeastern Louisiana.
He was at the Shrine Bowl, right?
Yeah. For me,
Yeah.
I enjoy seeing those guys, man. I'm actually excited to see the DB from LSU, Mansour Delane.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's nice. He's super nice.
Good ball player.
Number one corner in this class.
I'm excited to see some of the big boys move. I enjoy watching the linemen. You know, just see the kid from Miami does. Kid from Oregon, just to see those guys go out there and compete, man. It's a kid out of SFA named Charles Demings, a DB, about 6'1", 188, really good ball player. I think y'all need to be somebody just said in the comments that Toledo safety. They starting to push out them DBs at Toledo. So it's a good bit of guys. I'm out there. I'm excited, being from Louisiana. I'm excited to see the other receivers from LSU. Obviously I'm biased.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what 3 does, what Hilton does. But
yeah,
I'm excited to see what a lot of those kids from Louisiana and Texas do, man.
Of course. You know what's funny, man? A salute to you, my brother Ant on the Superman. I'm not too familiar with Tyron.
I know who that is. Tyron Montgomery. He's
John Carroll.
He's at the Senior Bowl out of D3. Matter of fact, he's a basketball player.
Yeah, LSU.
Walk on the LSU. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I saw him at the Senior Bowl, man, and in and out of the breaks. Obviously, not having played as much football, there's still some raw level to him. But the right team get their hands on him, and what's gonna be big for him, I'll say this, is does he have special teams ability?
Yeah.
And when you start talking about that day 3 of the draft, that later 5 through 7, can he play some gunner? Can he return? What can he do on special teams? Because when you're talking about those late guys, they're kind of all in the same bucket. And at that point, it becomes a who can do more or who has an elite trait. For example, not to, toot my guys home, but Chris Hilton, for example, day 1 he can play gunner.
Yeah.
And most teams are carrying 5 wide receivers, maybe 6. So, you have to work your way up in this league. Nobody, unless you're a first 3-round guy, you're not guaranteed a first 3 or 4 spot. So, can you play gunner? Can you go and kick off? Not even saying you can tackle. You just got to get in the goddamn way. Yeah. And so, most teams, if you look at it, their special teams coach has a voice. So when you're in that draft room and you got that board and somebody wants to pick a linebacker and somebody else wants a receiver, the tie might go to what the special team coach wants to do. Yeah, because that's what you got to realize. There's a lot of people in there fighting. The area scouts are fighting for their guy because that's how area scouts move up. Yeah, by identifying the Chris Hiltons of the world. So special teams is going to be big, and even with the kid that he just mentioned, Montgomery, and all those guys who are going to be later receivers.
Yeah. Hey, Wasted. Can I ask you a question real quick before you get into your bag? Can I ask you one question?
What's up, bro?
You ever heard this song? My neighbors think I'm selling dope. You ever heard that record? My neighbors
more than that.
Selling dope.
He's thinking to J. Cole.
You ever heard that song?
Nah.
But I know you're a J. Cole guy.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
Wasted put me up on. Like I always said, what I always say, Wasted is I'm not a J. Cole guy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a J. Cole.
Nah, I kind of just got through his album. I've been working so much. I haven't really had a chance to listen to his new album.
I sent it to you. Remember, I was like, yo.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to I can't.
You're like me. You can't just put together a quick conclusion of the album yet because you got to actually listen to it.
Yeah, I had to sit with it. Yesterday was the first time I been in my car riding around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Listening to it. So yeah, I haven't really.
Well, we have the artist here in the building right now.
Man, come on,
Mr. Double Disc himself.
29, 30
right here, man. I want to ask you, North Carolina's finest right here, Fayetteville.
That's crazy.
How do you feel about that new J. Cole album?
Man, crazy part. I've been blessed. I got another car now. All right. God is good. I'm thankful. 2011 Cadillac did about 250,000 miles. Did everything we could. We rode it till the wheels fell off. So getting a new car. I've been able to drive. I've been Houston. I've been driving all over the place. So I've been happy to drive. It's a double disc, 29, 39. Very good album, man. And somebody come and said J. Cole poor things. Yeah. There's this part where he calls somebody a punk B word.
Yeah.
He says it with such anger, punk. Hey, that's probably my favorite my favorite song on the album is probably Life Sentence. I really, I get my feelings sometimes. But I'm a lover boy at the end of the day, man. Aside from this tough exterior you see, I enjoy that song, man. So I'm excited. I mean, I love the album. You know what the thing about an album, but you got to give it about a month, multiple spins, some in the gym, some in the car, some in, I got to get a few more spins to have a full depiction, but I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, from what I heard from it, it wasn't really. I listen, man. I'm an '80s, '90s guy, right? So the way albums were put together back in the day was more of a cohesive project. Like I kind of feel like now, because it's like you're not going to buy something. Like when we were coming up, you go to buy an album, you open the plastic up, you open it up, you reading the credits, you seeing. And I think that it was more of a concerted effort to make a cohesive project. I think from what I heard from J. Cole's album, it's a lot of different songs, but it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like an album.
I understand what you're saying.
It don't feel like that. Like how like Good Kid, Mad City felt like a whole movie where it was telling a story, right? Yeah. I don't feel like that with this, and that's what I was expecting from J. Cole. I expected that level of artistry because the way he made us wait.
Yeah.
It
was deliberate though. It was deliberate. Wasted from what I was told and from what I read, he's been working on this album for over 10 years. So it's kind of like a leveling up of showing where he was in specific times in his life. Yeah,
that's too metaphoric for like a person who's listening for music. Like to me, like that's keep it simple, stupid. Like if you're gonna put together an album, you making everybody wait for this album, right? And then it's just an amalgamation of songs.
Amalgamation. Wow, I got to get my thesaurus.
Word of the day, man. Wait, that's Wasted word of the day at all times.
Wow. But what,
bro? It's just like it's an amalgamation of bullshit. He just put a bunch of songs, and it's like word gumbo. It's like, bro,
you spell amalgamation. AMAL.
I think it's A. It's AML.
Bro, our brother's a lawyer, and he's like, "What is that?"
No,
you know how to say
amalgamation.
Get out of here.
Oh
yo, man, get out of here, Paul. You know what amalgamation.
No, I had to use context clues. I can pretty much say that it's like an assortment.
Get out of here, man. The process resulted of joining or uniting.
Hey, but there's so many words you could have used there, bro. You could have said like a smorgasbord, a veritable assortment.
Here y'all go. Here y'all go with y'all nonsense.
Get on his helmet.
Here you go, brother.
Amalgamation.
Hey,
AMALGA.
I said it. Amalgamation.
Yeah, the action, process, or result of combining or uniting.
That is amazing, bro. Hold on, man. I just want to did they send you like a word of the day and you was like, I'm using this word? Can you imagine like if you arguing with your lady and you use that word, she gonna kick your ass out the house? Like just imagine like you getting fussed at for everything and you like, this is an amalgamation of like she bring up everything that you done did,
bro.
Homogenizing, bro. This mess. Wait,
my father read the dictionary 4 times.
Bro.
So my father used to cuss me out. I didn't know whether I was getting cussed out by the inventor of Scrabble.
Educated.
Can we call him Mr. Rogette's the thesaurus? Hey, Wasted. I ain't gonna lie though. Sometimes I use a word and I say WWWD. What would Wasted do in this situation? And I remember one time one of my frat brothers.
I'm gonna take that as disrespect.
Hey, we would say this at like at a chapter meeting, and he just starts clapping. This was like one of the biggest words I learned before. He started clapping. He said, his name, I'm not gonna say his name. He's an attorney though, and you knew he was gonna grow up and be somebody special. He said, "Thank you for this entire." He said, "This whole soliloquy was devoid of intelligence, of cohesiveness." And he's like, it was downright bullshit. He said, "Thank you for being so effing magnanimous." And I was just like, yo, hey, the word magnanimous, dog. Look, I'm looking it up. I'm like, magnanimous. I'm trying to use context. That man said magnanimous. I said, that's some weight. Like, little did I know that some decades later I'd meet his match. Because the way that you just said some shit every show we done been on.
Every
bro.
show.
Like every bro said, you said consummate one day. You be on one, dog.
Bro, listen, magnanimous is one of my favorites, right? It's one of my go-tos.
I knew it.
Listen, man, I try to get my Jackie Childs on, man.
Hey, I tell you this though, Wasted. The fun part of like writing a book is like every now and then I'll say something and I'll be like, oh, like I said,
bro, you gotta go into that bag because you don't want to keep using the same terminology over and over.
But
again,
at the same time, too, though, you know, you gotta realize like a book should be like flowing and it should be an easy. Like every now and then I'm gonna use a big word and let you know I'm about that shit. But for the most part, it's a book that you know it flows. You feel like we ride in a car together, and it like just by the time the road trip is over, we best friends. Like we get in the car. And he's like, all right. And then I'm telling you, like, damn, I didn't know you used to pee in the bed. Damn, I didn't know this. You know, it's like hey,
Paul, if you want a bestseller,
it's crazy.
If you want hey, listen, it's clear cut. If you want a bestseller, you need if you're done, you need to rewrite a little bit. Amalgamation needs to make the book, bro. It needs to make the book.
I'm gonna find a way to incorporate it in there. But you know the crazy part was like you get into. I've actually, like, I don't know if you've ever, you know, written a book for show, but writing a book will challenge you in ways and you're getting your feel. Like when I go to chapter 6 of the book, it's like, it took me through a rough part of my life, but I cried. Like I cried writing and recounting certain parts of the book. And you're going to read chapter 6 and you're going to be like, oh boy. Like you might call me after you read chapter 6. Like, oh, this was an abomination.
Paul, you know what's crazy, man. I always thought that that was gonna be the next natural progression for you, right? Because your story is a story that needs to be told, right? Like, it is not your run-of-the-mill story. I know a lot of people who have gotten into being sports agents, people who have gotten into finance, gotten into law, and a lot of times it is a birthright. It is not something that happens in a vacuum. Like most of the time when you see some of these guys, right, the big powerful agents, you can trace back their father, their father's father, and their father's father were all lawyers, or they were in something that was kind of congruent to being an agent, right? Because you need to understand, legalese, you need to understand, the law, right? Like you can't be an agent without having a law degree, right? So it is not something that is common, bro. And listen, they always say genius is not common. And I think there's genius in your story, man. How you came up, where you came from, and all of the people that you have surrounding you. And I salute the fact that you were able to sit down and pen your own book and you didn't use a ghostwriter, because a lot of people will tell their story, they'll sell their story and use a ghostwriter. I know when you have an editor, because my wife is an author. My wife is a published author through Simon & Schuster. So I know you have people and editors, the product that you sent off.
Amalgamation came from right there.
Yeah. But actually amalgamation came from my father. I tell you, my father read the dictionary 4 times, bro. I told you already, bro. My father I didn't know what my father was saying. He'd be yelling. I was a little kid. He said, you have the unmitigated gall, the temerity. I'd be like, yo, what is going on? Like,
am I in trouble or not?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, Dad, I don't even understand what's going on, bro. I'm 7 years old. He's saying this to me, right? But but at the end of the day, Paul, like, I really think that your story is a story that can help a lot of people, right? And because when you're a kid and you want to get into the sports world, right? We always think of having the main character syndrome. We think, hey, I want to be the next Michael Jordan. I want to be the next LeBron James. I want to be the next Cam Newton. But that's kind of like winning the gene lottery too, right? You can work hard, and there's there are always stories, oh, if you work hard, you're gonna get into the league. It's like, bro, if you're not born with a certain prerequisite set of skills, it doesn't matter how hard you work, right? You're never going to be Jeffrey Simmons. You're never going to be, Keon Coleman. They were blessed with a certain amount of talent from birth, and then they had the work ethic, and they were fortunate to not get injured at the wrong time, and that's why they are where they are, right? But for the regular human beings, right? Because we have all played organized sports. When you play against a pro and you see that pro run by you in high school, you're like, whoo.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, I'm not going to.
It's different.
It's very, very different, right?
Yeah.
So for people that love the game and want to participate in the game, your path is one that young men, of color don't normally think to take. They don't think to take that path, right? And I think it's not like you're the only Black agent out there, right? But I think the reason why your story is important is because you were from a certain generation, right? You're from our generation and down. So I think the kids beneath us will be able to relate to you more, bro.
Yeah. And can I add real quick to that real quick, Paul? I want to say this. I am blessed and honored to be a part of when the switch flipped, if that makes any sense. Because Paul was going through a transitional period where he was trying to figure things out. He had a lot of personal demons that he was fighting, just like most of us do, right? Sometimes we get down and out with ourselves. Sometimes the confidence isn't there where it used to be. I watched my guy fight through all of that, literally fight like tooth and nail to get through all of that to end up where you are now, about to be a published author, have several athletes, not only, guys that you call, clients, but family members. So honestly, bro, I just wanted to piggyback on what Wasted said and say, bro, I seen it. I know what it means to you. That's why it means so much more to us to be able to see you bring this and happen, come to fruition, because it's a beautiful story, bro. Definitely.
No, I appreciate that, bro. And it's like you said, Wasted, I think it's gonna be something that resonates with everybody. It's when in the initial writing process, it's like people gonna say, people gonna make comments like, oh, hey, you need to write this book because you need to get more clients, or you need to.
Yeah.
Nah, I've always kind of done things my way, bro. Like I released the book, like my mama, my sister, and my daughter released the trailer on Facebook that I was writing a book, right? So it's like, for me, I'm not tripping on how many books I sell. Hopefully I do well, but like you said, the story needed to be told, not on no look at me ego stuff, but for the people that's gonna help and it's gonna shed light on what God can do in your life too, man. It's like my agent story didn't start where I went to a powerhouse school and I was a promoter and I met a player and that player it was steps. It was love. I had to go through things. I had to fight demons. I had to grow, and I'm still growing. And that's the beautiful thing about all this, right? If you look at my story, I was on paper supposed to get the Simmons deal done, then go work for Athletes First or Clutch or do, I'm gonna do things how I want to do it and how I see fit and what's best for me. And my vision and who I want to help, So I think the book, boys, I'm really looking forward to y'all getting y'all hands on it, bro. Like and I'm not even tripping if I get new clients from it, good. But if y'all read it and it's like, yo, Paul gave up alcohol, I could give up womanizing. I could give up like whatever it is. Like in the book, it says like, bro, sometimes it's as simple as getting out of your own way. So it has elements of a self-help book. It has elements of
that's where faith comes in, Paul, right there. That's where faith comes in, though.
Yeah, I mean,
dealing with that, and you jumped right into it and you embraced it, and you were there constantly, and you weren't just a guy that was just going to church. You were involved in the church and still are to this day.
It's a testament to the road less traveled.
Yeah, bro. And like I told you, bro, I hope there's one of those books that, I mean, obviously I know y'all gonna support it because y'all my dog.
But
like people who really need it, like you said, that young kid from a small town that dreaming bigger than everybody telling them like, bro, it ain't nobody who do this where you from, or this is like, cop the book. It's improbable. Like I reading the book and writing the book, I'm like, yo, I can't believe some of this shit happened. Like meeting you, how improbable meeting you was. So much in my life is just being in a random place at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, man. Jonathan Abram a backpack giveaway, and he ended up not showing up. He couldn't make it. Something happened. We hung out, the boys start playing football with you. Boom. Next thing you know, brotherhood, just like that.
And bro, there's elements of this book, bro. I tell the ugly side of things too. I don't just give you my highlights. I had the most trying year of my agent career just these last 6 to 8 months, and wasted. Both of y'all know about this, losing clients here and there. And being talked about in the media, people scrutinizing you, and the first thing you want to do is respond. I've had to grow so much this year, man. I've been challenged, I've been attacked, and it's like, okay, I needed that. I got to the point where like I look forward to growing through adversity because I tend to learn something through it and come out better for it.
But you know what's funny on the way out, because I got a few more one question for you on the way out with everything you got going on. But I remember you tweeting, and I remember you putting stuff out early on, and you can tell that certain things bothered you. You got away from that. Like you got away. I remember, Paul. I'm like, man, you can tell, bro, is frustrated with what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm like, you know what I mean? And that all stopped again because you look. What'd you say? Get out your own way. Sometimes you got to realize, bro, when you're in the spotlight, things come, things happen. People gonna comment. People gonna say whatever they want to say. You just got to just let people.
It's hard, bro, because we still human.
Yes.
So you got to think about like you still have to be the adult in the room when people are doing hurtful things to people that you love, and then when people are also doing things to you. Like is a couple of people like in this business that I know I'm gonna see at the combine.
Yes.
And it's like I got smoked for because
I already know who you're talking about.
It's a couple of people, bro. Like if I see you never seen Peter Griffin and that chicken on it's on right? Because people in this business, bro. And I'm gonna take y'all behind the curtain.
Yeah.
If you're a younger or a humble agent, and you're not on this arrogant bravado shit, like you can call an OG agent and say, "Yo, hey, bro, what you think about this? Hey, man, I was thinking this." And instead of being cool about it, they'll go back and when they recruiting the same player as you or something, oh, such and such, he calling me, asking me for advice.
Use it against you.
Yo, like I would just, bro, bet. So then when they see you, hey, when we link it at the combine, like now, bro, now if I walk up on you at the combine and you hit me up like, hey, what's up? And that units come out of me and I'm like, nah, dog, it ain't nothing to talk about. What we on? See, and I'm losing clients because I'm 6'2", 192 right now, bro. I'm big boy right now. I'm big wide receiver.
And you know what? There's a Starbucks right outside of the combine where Jordan Schultz and Ian Rappaport met up. I'm just letting you know.
Listen, bro. Hey, it's just, and not to turn it into a venting session, but it's like you got some people in this business that like work at big agencies and they number 28 on the depth chart.
Yeah,
they ain't never do nothing on their own, and they get to talking about people that's really out here doing it. Like, bro, you got to raise your hand to talk at the meetings, but you talking crazy. Now, see, if I get out of character, then it's like, well, he has this chain on, he lacks the maturity. I'm finding the hard time sometimes. Like, I'm still a grown man before you're an agent.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna have to see me.
Yeah. Look, there's that nuance in corporate America, right? Because in corporate America, you have, your public self, you have the guy that you are, the guy that you were raised to be, right? And a lot of those things don't align in corporate America. I deal with it every day, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
we have these conversations all the time.
We have these conversations all the time, right? Like, so this is the thing, man. Like, I totally get where you're coming from because in corporate America is very, very cutthroat. And you have some people who check their morals at the door. You have some people who never had morals. You have some people that use their job as, their whole identity, right? And you don't, like, the thing is, you're a man and a good person first. Before you're an agent, before you're a lawyer, before you're anything, you're a man, a man of God and a good person first. And I think sometimes dealing in a world of sharks and the shark's den, where you have a lot of people who just do not have any kind of moral structure, that doesn't always align. And that's most of the time why it's best to just say less and do more. Because when you're in that world, you always have to, and it sucks to be that way, but you almost have to assume the worst and hope for the best.
What's the old saying? Just don't let them trick you out your position, bro.
And that's the thing, man. It is hard to show that level of maturity, especially when you from where I'm from, but we don't let people play with us like that, and it's been so hard, like you said, with people saying stuff about Keon all the time and just always having to take the high road. Man, that high road was hard sometimes, bro, because it's like I'm still human. And I remember I read a tweet, Keon was late and he got inactive, and somebody tweeted, they said, his agent is failing him right now. And it's like, like what?
You don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Like,
which is straight, but it's like, I've matured, but I didn't know, like, I wasn't ready for this spot 3 years ago. I for sure, like, at all.
Hey, can I say something to the person who tweeted that? Your mother failed you.
Yeah. but also, it's like they do this, right, Paul? And like the good thing is you and Keon have that family relationship, that family dynamic, because these young kids can see a tweet like that and be like, they can question, like, well, what is this and what is that? These people can tweet and not know that they can actually interfere with your business and your personal relationships by doing so. You know what I mean? Thank the Lord that Keon knows who you are and knows that you always have, you're always looking for the best with him. And he knows that. His mother knows that.
And I think that's not just with him. I think all my guys. Like for me, it comes with transparency. I have a conversation like, yo, I feel like I was a B- as an agent for you this year. Here's where I could have been better. And that goes from Keon to Huntington, to all my guys.
Yeah.
Like, I could have done better in this regard. A lot of this agency stuff, but being an agent, you're a leader. Mm-hmm. You're a leader. And if the leader of the group shows transparency and accountability, I think it trickles down to everybody in that building.
Yeah, and you're relatable. I mean, the conversation I was privy to when you were FaceTiming with Chris Hilton's mom.
Miss Cindy, I wonder if she in here. That's my dog.
I loved it. But it reminded me of just like back in the day, man, growing up in South Sac, or where you from, Newark, Eunice, like these here, and you just playing dominoes. Conversation, old school barbecue conversation. Y'all laughing, y'all joking. I'm like, this is what, if I, and I'm not saying this because you family, my son, if one of these guys make it, I want an agent to be like that. I want them to be relatable. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
and the thing I think about it, bro, is like, you for sure you have to be relatable, but you also have to show that you're reliable. Right?
Yeah.
Not to keep using the R words, but I think the agent, like for example, with Chris's mom, Miss Cindy, that's my, that's family, but you also have to show them I can do the work too. Because at the end of the day, you can like your homeboy.
Yeah.
But is your homeboy gonna have the wherewithal to help you navigate through
treacherous water?
Yeah, and even in Chris's situation, Sherm has been around Sherm with the plan. Shout out to my dog, but he's been with him for 2 years at LSU. So he's with him in California. So I'm blessed to have people around where, they can help me. And I can help them as well. They go both ways. I can hit Sherm like, hey, Sherm, what you think about this? What's your thoughts? I'm humble enough to know what I don't know.
Yeah.
And as an agent, bro, you build that relationship with the parents. You get to know them. Like Miss Cindy gonna call me probably tomorrow, and she gonna ask me, so the combine, what can I go here? Can I go? And I'm like, this is how it's gonna go. This is what we're gonna do. Yep. Some stuff I ain't gonna tell her. Like I ain't gonna tell her what his 40 time is looking like right now. Sometimes she might get a little, mom's gonna be moms.
Yeah.
So it's just figuring out, knowing your personnel.
And I seen that at the combine with you and Keon's family as well. When he was there at the combine, you were right there, front and center with his family, kicking it and doing exactly what you're saying you're doing. Go ahead, Wesley.
Paul, on the way out, I want to give, because our audience loves football. They love you. They love to hear us talk, right?
We're almost 800 deep right now. We're not
but
football. So it's great.
But this is a Raider channel. You know that. Both of our channels are Raider channels. I want to bring this on the way out. Some Raider stuff. I want to pick your brain as an agent, a guy that kind of has a peek behind the curtain, right?
I got you.
3 things. What's your opinion on Fernando Mendoza? Do you feel like he's worthy of the #1 pick?
It's a good question. I like when we get to talk about this type, but we gotta find a way to do a show one day. Like, but
don't Jesus with some Raider talkers. We'll look.
Come on, bro. You know what time it is, bro. We always.
This is who I am, bro. You know how happy I am to not be talking about the team in Buffalo right now. Like I'm good. This is good for me. I need this. Can we talk? Like, cause ain't no Raiders fan cussing me out right now.
I love it. 1-part question. What else you got? Wait,
all right.
It's a 3-point. Hey, it's a triumvirate. It's a triumvirate.
Yo, a triumvirate. Definitely. The third one.
The trifecta.
What is your opinion and the opinion around the league of the moves that the Raiders have made in the coaching staff with Klint Kubiak and some of the guys that they brought in? And the third part of that, when you see how the season is going to shape up, I mean, it's the end of the season right now, right? But do you really think that the way that the draft is playing out, do you think that this team can turn itself around within a year and be a respectable team with the amount of cap space they have and really with the amount of draft ammunition that they have? Do you think that, do you have faith in John Spytek? Do you like John Spytek?
Fernando Mendoza, and Kubiak, offensive coordinator for
I wrote it. Hey, I took copious notes.
Copious, another one.
Look at that.
I do. I'm very meticulous when it comes to my banter. No, man. So first of all, I say this. Mendoza, I like him. The ball placement, a processor, a winner. Showed me everything I needed to see, bro. Like, I know, people like to use the term Heisman moment a lot, but that 4th and 2 play or whatever, he ran and hurdled. Like, bro, he just is a leader of men. He's himself. See me, bro? Like, I don't think none of that he doing is an act. That's him.
Yes.
Like, he's not trying to force this baby Tebow on him, Like, he's himself. I enjoy people who live like that. But I'm a fan of his, The ball placement, he's won big games. He's played against the Ohio State defense, right? He's shown up. And for me, it's even when he wasn't having great games, he found a way to make the play. I think it was like a game against Penn State or something.
Yeah,
Omar Cooper Jr. back in the end zone touchdown.
Everybody always like to use, look at the stats. For me, I'd like to, maybe y'all got this, but what's the stats? What's his stats after a 3 and out? How does he come back after a turnover or a 3? I'm willing to bet those numbers are very high because the mental makeup is there, bro. And I know it's a lazy narrative. People like to talk about Tom Brady being it. That's only going to help him. Yep. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yes.
It's only going to help him.
Yep.
Your GM is very very respected in this league as a talent evaluator, as a drafter, and even in free agency, we'll see what they do. I think the world of Mendoza. I think with the weapons, you got a running back already. You're gonna have to fix that O-line. Yes. Just call it what it is, but you got pieces on the O-line at least. You can go, you can go find you some depth, maybe find you a veteran in free agency to be a stopgap, somebody as you let one of those younger guys develop. But you gotta improve on the O-line. But you got Bowers, you drafted a receiver. Who you
Jack
drafted?
Mesh, we got Dante Thornton Jr.
Yeah. You got those guys are only going to get better. You probably want to go draft a receiver, find somebody in free agency, maybe a mid-tier guy, at 15 to 17 million, that could come there and get you 60 balls. Be a leader in that receiver room. You know what I mean? And draft you one. But foundation is there, bro. And it's the staff. Kubiak, I think home run higher.
Yes.
Home run higher. He calls plays, comes from that tree. He has a running game. That's the prerequisite of a Kubiak type offer. You got to be able to run the ball. I think you will be able to run the ball. Gents, you probably want to get you another running back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mid
late round pick, just a guy you can place behind Genty. He's gonna be the workhorse.
Yeah, I think the future is there. But then you talk about with this year's draft is deep. You got what? You got enough picks.
10 picks right now. We'll probably end up having more.
Let's say you hit on 7. Look, if 7 or 6 or 10 of those, 60 or 70% of those guys make the roster, that's a win.
Yeah.
Just being honest. Once you get to 7th round, 6th round, you never know. But you get on those early picks, I think it's a great job, bro. I think Kubiak is the man for the job. And I really think, and I'm not just blowing smoke up y'all ass or nothing, but you can win 9 games this year, man. You can win 9 games.
Wow. That would be an amazing turnaround.
You just became everybody's
favorite. Bro, and I ain't gonna cap. If it was a dire situation, it's a dire situation. But
go Mama Cindy right there.
So remind me to tell you a funny story. But with the way that team is constructed, you go get a Chris Hilton, add another element to that offense. Who gonna take the top? You can give them the ball on a post, a slant. We talking 40 balls, 700 yards year one. We good. And so, but no, I think y'all on y'all way, man. You got cap room, and you got competency.
Yeah,
that's the thing, man. If you have competent GM and ownership, like people say they want about Davis, but he want to win.
Definitely.
He getting older, bro. He wants to. His daddy said, "Just win, baby." That man want to win. I mean, the only thing negatively I can say about him is his haircut. And if that's all you can say about somebody, bro, like,
Yo, man, listen, what's wrong with the fryer tuck, bro? He got the got the fresh fryer tuck, man.
Old joint.
Yeah. Hey.
Pause. Like, wait, hold up.
I gotta say something, bro. Bro said.
He said, "Relax, don't get our hopes up before the draft."
Hey, nah, for real though. But listen, bro. Like, hope. That's the beautiful thing about like when you're with your boys and y'all pregame and y'all going to the club, right?
Yeah.
In your single days. That's the most fun part of going out. Pregame, right? Because you're hopeful. At that moment, you're gonna get 7 numbers. You gotta enjoy the pregame, and it's like it's the vibe, right?
Yeah.
So embrace the draft, bro. Like you always one draft away. Think about that. You think when the Saints had that draft that year, they had Kamara, Lattimore, they didn't know they were having a transcendent draft.
Yeah.
Man, trust spy tech, vibe out. You got the AFC West is wide open.
Hey.
It's wide open.
The currency of hope, baby. The currency of hope.
Bro.
Real quick, man, on the way out, man, you got a lot going on. We talked about the book, talked about Chris Hilton. We're definitely going to be keeping an eye on him.
Hold on, bro. I got to say this, though. I only talked about Hilton. I got 3 other guys in this draft. I got Channing Canada out of TCU, a baller. Look him up right now. At this point, I hope y'all starting to understand. If I tell y'all Raiders, y'all start looking at these people. Channing Canada, Kelby Givens, the most productive player in the country, HBCU. Defensive,
Sir, you know we love our HBCUs.
Defensive end, outside linebacker, a sack machine, high character, a dog.
Oh,
And Brylan Green, Liberty, led the country in interceptions in 2023. A dog. Brylan Green, look him up. About 5'9", 5'10", can play nickel, can play. Trust me. At this point, bro, I'm just because y'all ain't never heard of him. It's like I'm trying to put y'all on that new musician that you ain't heard of.
I put him up. The kid you was talking about. I put him on my boy from the Bears. Remember I was telling you?
Yeah.
I was like, I told my guy from the Bears about him. So we're definitely
Brylan Green. Listen to me, bro. Brylan, somebody said, so he's a sack machine. Pause. Man, come on, man. A quarter, but that don't make it no better. If I say a quarterback sack, he gets. You know what, bro? Man,
bro, we grown men. We don't pause. We ain't pausing. We good, bro.
Hey, you got it. But no, I'm telling you, man. Brylan Green. He went to the American Bowl, Channing Canada. I'm excited about my guys, man. Obviously, you know, we've been talking a lot about Chris because he has the combine. And you know, people talk about 4.2, man. I don't listen. I don't want to say 4.2 and then he run low 4.3 and it's like a letdown for anybody, but he gonna run fast. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. He gonna run fast, and it ain't gonna be normal. You know, it ain't gonna be normal.
Your basketball fundraiser, man. I see you were doing your thing. Almost raised 7 bands over there. First major NIL deal. Caden Harris out of Georgia and Vonnie Gibson, Cincinnati. Got a lot of things going on right now, Paul. Break them down on the way out. Let us know what you got going on outside of the book, outside of the combine, the draft. It looks like you are a man that wears many hats here.
But bro, like so I did this thing called Shoot Your Shot back in my hometown. Basketball team needed some money, and I put on. I thought like, okay, what can I do? So I shot 25 3-pointers at a halftime of a big game, and people were pledging, certain amount of money to each make. Some people as high as $100 per make. And man, I got out there, bro. I was nervous as hell. I didn't think it was gonna be that packed. Let me tell you something. It's a lot easier than you think. Like you just in an empty gym all week. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make 14, 15. And so I get out there shooting, man. And I made 3 of my first 5. And I'm making the crowd going crazy. My mama, everybody's there, bro. It's a packed gym. I'm gonna send y'all the video of the gym. You can go look on my Instagram and see it. And man, I got to my goal is like, I gotta get double digits. Man, I was 9 for 18. I'm good. But bro, when I got to like 19 and 20, my arms started to get like, bro, I'm old. Man,
I'm getting old, bro.
This is my last 7 shots. I finished 9 for 25, and I cussed on the mic when they interviewed me. I was so bro. I was so mad, bro. Listen. When I left the game, I didn't want to talk. We get back home. My mama was like, people who know me, are competitive, bro. I was so mad. Then you had people back at the home. I'm from the crib. I'm driving around. Little Paul, your sad ass can't shoot. Like, I was embarrassed to go to the barbershop. Man, you talk about you a shooter, bro. It's people who I know can't shoot. Bro, to make that number, I'm still not satisfied with that number, like 37%.
Yeah.
But think about the stakes and the pressure. That's a lot. It's not like I'm shooting with somebody else. It's the whole gym looking at me. And I folded at the end. I should have done. Keon was so disgusted. He said, P, we worked on this. P, he was like, he was disappointed. Like sometimes I call him after the game. Oh, he was upset with me.
Alexa, play Kalani. Folded.
Oh my God. hey,
but you know what? You did your thing.
No, the Alexa started playing it in here.
Oh shit! You know why? Because you were the one that folded, bro. Yo, bro. That is hilarious. Break down the NIL deal too, because I want to hear about this for sure, though.
I folded, man. I did, bro. So Caden Harris signed with Georgia, top 10 corner in the country. Mm-hmm. I went out there, man, got it done. I love that kid, man. He's from Brownsville, Tennessee, which is interesting enough. Tina Turner's from there. Hold on, let me cut this off.
Okay.
Turn it down. They're really playing folded in the background, which is crazy, but Caden's a great kid. Me and his dad built a really good rapport. He's going to be special. We talking top 10 pick when it's said and done.
Yeah.
Like, baby Pat Surtain. He's that. Good kid. And Giovanni Gibson was at Oklahoma. Ended up going to Cincinnati. I ain't going to tell any personal business, but it was all good deals. And, bro, just being who I am, I'm like, you got some of these agencies, agent, I'm going to charge you 20%, 15%. Like me, I'm a realist. I'm like, look, bro, I treat this like an attorney. Here's the work I've done. Here's what my billables look like. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's be fair to you. Let's be fair to me. Let's keep it pushing. And, I'm going to keep building that NIL pipeline, bro. I got some other things that are going to happen. Might be adding a sport to the belt. We'll see. We'll talk about that later. What baby steps, bro. But the goal has always been the goal, like I tell y'all, man, to keep getting better, keep surrounding myself with good players. Yeah. Because you're only as good as who around you, bro. My goal ain't to be no super agent. My goal is to just be a super person, a superhuman being. And like I got more goals than just to, I've done $100 million deal already. Then what? Yeah. I just want to keep checking off these boxes, write this book, get to do some motivational speaking and leadership training. Because I know I'm more than just an agent, bro. Like I'm bigger than that. Mm-hmm. Not saying just to be an agent. I'm not thankful, but my purpose, my reach, and what I'm supposed to do, bro, way, way more. People are like, oh, you're an agent. You always doing camera. There's a lot of agents that can't do this because they're not charismatic. Y'all ain't got it, dog. It's all right. We all got it. Good at it.
Yeah.
I'm just one of them.
I've had opportunities to have others on, and I knew just by speaking to them, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, we've had some people that are like the guy in the basement of the movie Office Space.
Yeah, bro.
Yes, I have to work. You're like, okay, listen.
Think about it, wasted. I'm just trying to have a good time with this, bro. Impact lives.
Yeah.
Love my family. Yeah. Love my people, bro. And if I don't do nothing else in this business, bro, God has already given me an opportunity to do things and see things a kid from Eunice could never even imagine. So at this point, I'm really playing with house money. I'm not going into a draft class feeling pressure. Oh, I gotta have this many draft picks. I ain't got shit to prove to nobody, bro.
I love it, bro.
Love it, man. Love it, bro.
Love it. Well, look, this is what we got to do, man. After the combine, let's run one back. I want to talk about Chris and what he did out there. Talk about some of the other players that stood out and all that good stuff. We would love to run another graph and wasted and graph. Actually, we're not even gonna call it that. The winning circle.
And what about we could talk about free agency.
Let's do that too.
Let's do a free agent special, and let's do a special about the draft too. Let's get a group of prospects and let's break them down.
Yeah,
let's keep it about
the draft. I can be able to tell you okay, free agency. Here's what the middle of the market is looking like. Here's how teams break down free agency. Because what are player comps? Like it's a science to this and how these teams want to operate. And I've been able to learn this, and I'd like to share it with y'all to make y'all sound smarter when y'all fuss with people. You know, I'm talking about y'all. I'm like the common fan, bro. Yeah. Like, hey, bro, I'm the people's agent, bro. If I can tell you something, I'm gonna let you know. We're gonna run it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, real quick on the way out, I wanted to get this in because again, Kubiak was the big fish for us, but also, you know, Robert Salah, Brian Daboll, really good hires down there with the 10. I don't even want to compare the two hot box personally. I think that both teams kind of like just hit home runs here with their hires. I think they want to go with the defensive identity out there with Tennessee. They want to build on what they have with Jeffrey and those guys on the defensive side of the football. And then they got Brian Daboll who's going to help Cam Ward a lot in year 2. I love what Tennessee did with the all bald team out there in that coaching staff. But I think Kubiak, as Raider fans, we're going to be biased here. I love the hire coming off of a Super Bowl win. The offense, what they averaged, wasted 28 points a game this season with Sam Darnold at the helm. I'm excited to see what he can do with Fernando Mendoza. So
I am. So I think it's too early to compare them. I think both organizations, I can't call them home run hires at this point.
Yeah,
but they for sure base hits.
Yeah,
you know. Obviously, for the first time coach, you know, there's going to be some growing pains with Kubiak. You know, he's going to have to grow. But I will say that he may not have the typical growing pains that most first-year coaches have because he grew up in the game.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have some experience around him. And he's coming off a bowl, so he didn't want a chip. So he got instant credibility as soon as he walked in.
And then Mendoza's coming off a national championship, 2 winners in the building together, trying to run it back to get another one. So, you know, you love to see it. Real quick, after the combine, you guys, we'll be back. Free agency show, combine show. I want bro to do a mock draft. I want Paul to do a mock draft dolo. 7 rounds. We're gonna run 7 rounds, and we're gonna have you before we go. We all gonna do our homework before this show, but I want you to do a 7-round mock. We'll all do one, and we'll have the chat rank it. Waste is gonna be 3rd. You know, he's known to have terrible mock drafts.
No, I'm not. Listen, Paul, let me tell you something. This is a narrative, the ugly narrative that was started by the many me's in the chat. I have the best mock drafts.
What did you do, though? Like, why did you do?
I don't do anything crazy, bro. These guys are
7th rounder in the 2nd round. You know,
what was the worst pick, though? What's the worst pick you ever saw him do?
Nothing. That's just one of those little things that
you know what? We're gonna do this, Paul. You'll see it in person, brother.
Wasted. What we doing though, bro?
Listen, I'm gonna give you an example. Like last year, right?
Okay.
I would take in the 2nd round. I would take James Pierce. Right now, listen. I know he had problems, but I knew he was a damn good pass rusher.
But he went first round.
Yeah. Or I would take Dante Thornton in my draft, and the Raiders wound up drafting him. Like these guys are a bunch of bums.
I took Jack Besh in every mock draft. He ended up being a Raider too. What's that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, a bunch of bums. Like, you know, and then Graf, you know, this is what Graf does. Graf will name everybody in draft. Say, that's my guy. That's my guy.
You know what? No,
wait, hold on. Everybody in the quarterback room is my guy.
You are here to be a witness for this. That show that we do. No, we're gonna have the wasted guys and the graphic guys. We're not doing it. We're gonna do one show with that.
The comments, they said that man took a punt. I feel like I'm in on an inside joke. Somebody say, oh man.
They say, yo, they lying, bro. I'd never do that. The only thing I do is when we didn't have a quarterback, I would double up on quarterback. That's the only thing I would do. That people would be like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, you know, look, if you take Mendoza, and we still love Drew Allar, but again, you're not going to take him after you take Mendoza. Because
it's really going to happen. When we used to do these mock drafts, I was drafting from a prism of like a fantasy prism, like what could happen. We knew what wasn't going to, but now this is a little different. It's real. You take Mendoza
cold out of Arkansas, man. It didn't work out the next level, but
yeah.
Burke turning it around though. He looked good in Washington this year.
Yeah, man. He looked good out there. So come on, man.
Man. This guy, man. Yo, that's my guy. That's everybody your guy, man. Get there. It's my guy.
Salute, man, to everybody for pulling up on us tonight. We appreciate you guys so much. We still almost have 800 people in the building. You guys are the greatest. Make sure you guys wipe them feet on my channel. Make sure you pay your bar tabs over at Waste's channel.
Wait, 800 people?
Yeah, yes, definitely, man.
So, so if 10% of the people in there buy a book, that's 80 book sales. I'm gonna be realistic. I know everybody don't want to buy the book, but I'm thinking about that. I bet we gotta do another show for sure.
We're gonna be moving that book like it's ours, man, because we believe in
move
it, and I think that people need to hear your story. You know, a lot of people, all these shows, what happens, Wasted? So ask Paul, how do you get to where you were? What did you do to do this? Or what did you do that? Well, guess what? Read the book.
Read the book. The book is crazy. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to y'all though, before y'all go. That book cover is fire. Like,
was it the one you sent me?
Nah, no. I didn't even see that one because I don't know, like the little kid version of it.
No. Okay, no, you sent me the video.
It got Nas album cover.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, not the first Illmatic album.
Hey, the book though, I ain't gonna lie, the book cover, I look way more handsome on the book cover than I am in real life. It's a book. I'm not lying to you because listen, the book, I know, like I'm not even trying to be on no self-deprecating. Like I know I'm a good-looking dude, but I ain't that good looking. You know what I'm talking about too. Like it's like, yo, like
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Hey, my eyes look hazel. Bro, book cover. Somebody gonna walk through Barnes and Noble and be like, "I'm buying this book." I'm telling you.
Okay.
He got the new edition on right now.
Yo, salute, man, to our brother once again. Everybody, man, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you. We're gonna run this back at least in a few more weeks. Combine's right around the corner, so we'll run this back after the combine, and we'll definitely be here to shoot the shit about free agency, the draft, and all that other good stuff. Anything on the way out, Paul?
I'm good, man. I appreciate y'all, man. This was good, but it was a good reunion. We needed this, man. And I'm a dude. Hope you guys have a productive, blessed week, man.
You too, my brother. I'm gonna call you sometime this week to tap in.
All right, man. Y'all be easy.
All right, my brother. Salute to everybody in the building. You guys have a blessed night. We are out.